I'm Kay the Tax Lady, and I prepared this video to talk about Form 1099-C. Now, you might receive one of these forms if during the year you had some debt that was canceled because your home that you were living in was foreclosed on, or you filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy and that was finalized during the year, or you had some credit card debt that was forgiven. You made some sort of agreement and had some of that debt forgiven, and so they might send you a form, and they're also sending a copy of this to the IRS. And that means that you need to do something. You need to address it on your tax return. And I see people getting letters from the IRS, and the IRS is just going to assume that the entire amount is taxable to you. So you do need to do something. The first thing you need to do is go to the IRS website and look for Form 982. This form needs to be attached to your tax return. So on the Form 982, we're only going to be filling in information at the very top section here, numbers 1 and number 2. If you had Chapter 11 bankruptcy and that's why you received the 1099-C, then what you need to do is check box 1A. If the 1099-C debt was because of the home that you were living in, then you would need to check box 1E. Then what you need to do is under number 2 on Form 982 is write the amount that you see in box 2 of the 1099-C that you received, for example, here. And you take that number and you put it on line 2 of Form 982, right here. If you received the 1099-C because of one of those two reasons, either bankruptcy, Chapter 11, or foreclosure on your primary residence, that's all you need to do. Just attach the Form 982 to your tax return and you're done. However, if the reason for your 1099-C is because of other debt, like credit card debt, then you have more work to do. You have to, again, go to the IRS website and look for publication 4681. And then go to page 9, and there you will find the Insolvency Worksheet that you need to complete. You'll need to use this worksheet in order to calculate the extent of your indebtedness at the time that your debt was canceled. So the first thing you need to do is look at your 1099-C in box 1 for the date. So in other words, if the debt was canceled on December 31st, 2014, then you need to complete the insolvency worksheet with that date in mind. So what was the amount that you had in your bank account on December 31st, 2014? How much did you owe credit cards on that date? And so on. Now make sure on this form that you also include the debt that was canceled. At the bottom of this worksheet is where you determine the extent of your insolvency. And you do this by subtracting the total assets from the total debts. So debts minus assets. Now, if this number is 0 or less, you are not insolvent, and you actually do have to report the entire amount that was put in box 2 of your 1099-C as other income on your 1040, and you do that on line 21. To the space provided on line 21 to the left of it, you need to write in 1099-C. This way the IRS knows what you're talking about and why it's there and that you have addressed it. Now, if your debts minus assets is greater than 0, you are at least partially insolvent. In that case, you would carry the amount from line 38 of the worksheet to line 2 of Form 982. And then you would check the box 1B. Now, the last thing you need to do is to determine whether you are partially or fully insolvent. And to do this, you subtract the amount of canceled debt that was reported in box 2 of your 1099-C from the amount you just put on line 2 of Form 982. If the result is greater than 0, you are fully insolvent. But if the amount is less than 0, you are partially insolvent, and you have to report the difference as other income on line 21 of your 1040 tax return and write 1099-C as the type of income to the left.
If you are partially or fully insolvent, and that's the reason why you got the 1099-C, then you're going to need to attach the Form 982 and also the Insolvency Worksheet. The IRS is going to want to see that as well. I hope that this video has helped you. Of course, it doesn't cover every single instance. There's a lot more to Form 982. I was just wanting to help you out with the most common ones if they apply to you. If you have any questions, just give me a call or write to me through my website. And thank you very much.